Good afternoon, world. It's Ivan and Mayor. It's 3:41 p.m. I just came back from work. No, I'm joking. I had today off. It's really annoying because I keep telling my my stepfather members I have work on Saturdays, and every time I always wake up. Well, I even how was work? I'm like I was sleeping, man. I fucking took work. I took Saturday off. I slept all day. I passed out all day, man. I slept all day. I was tired. I went to bed late, like at 1 o'clock. I was listening to music like for hours. 50 Cent. I'll listen to some 50 Cent and Eminem, obviously. I haven't heard 50 Cent in a while. I was listening to his what Get Rich or Die Trying album. I listened to Eminem's 8 Mile song. That was a sick song. Yeah. I Who thinks better, Eminem or 50 Cent? In terms of like back then, I would say 50 Cent was better. But now, like Eminem got better. Eminem's better than 50 Cent. No, I remember I had that debate with all these guys at this is back when I was like in grade seven. Yeah, grade seven. I remember back when I was in Sims junior high. I had all these debates with all these guys in grade six. Yeah, who's better, 50 or Eminem? Like 50's better than Eminem. You know what I'm saying, my so-called best friend thought 50 was better. I thought 50 was better, and the other white guy, he's like, no, Eminem's better. I'm like, nah, 50's better. You know what I'm saying. And now I'm like, yeah, Eminem's better than 50 Cent. In terms of like history, like if you take all of his albums, all of Eminem's albums combined, you take all of 50 Cent's albums combined, you listen to them, Eminem is better than 50 Cent. But back then, I'd give it to 50 Cent. I think he was better back then. When he just started, I think 50 was better. Don't hate me, Eminem. But after that, he fell off the map. He quit rapping, and Eminem's still rapping, and he sold what the most records ever is. And if you go on Wikipedia, it says he's the best rapper right now, live today. Yeah, obviously. It's funny because Eminem's white, and yeah, he's the best rapper in the world right now. So good for him, man. That's to represent for the white people, right? Because most of the good rappers are all the black guys, right? I'm not racist, but most of the good rappers are usually the black guys, right? And Eminem was a white dude who became a rapper, and he ends up being the best rapper today, obviously. Samsara. That's good for him. Good representation for the white people, obviously. Samsara. Yeah. His voice could get a bit annoying though. Eminem's voice can get a bit annoying though when he raps, and I find it a bit annoying. Obviously, yeah. Which 50 has a nice flow when he raps. Eminem's flow is not as good as 50's. 50 Cent has a very nice flow, but Eminem has lyrics, man. He knows how to spit bars. 50 Cent knows how to spit bars too, obviously. They're both really good. Back then, I would give it to 50. I think 50 when 50 first started, man, he was hot off the map, man. He was. I found his songs better than Eminem's most of Eminem's songs. And he fell off the map, and Eminem kept pumping out more albums, and his what his album he ended up surpassing 50 Cent, obviously. But I think Drake will surpass Eminem. I think like in 10, 15 years, you're gonna see Drake ends up selling more albums than Eminem, more records than Eminem, and he ends up surpassing Eminem. I think Drake will surpass him. I really do, seriously. Because Drake has something that most of the rappers don't have. He can sing and rap. Most rappers can't sing. Drake can sing. That's why he's so popular, obviously. And he's Canadian, too, from Canada, obviously. Era. You also have Biebs. Biebs might surpass Justin Timberlake, perhaps. He might surpass him. He's a fellow Canadian like me from Canada, obviously. And same as Drake. Drake's a Canadian guy too, yeah. Yeah. I made my coffee, so I'm gonna go get I made my coffee, so I'm gonna go get my coffee soon. I'm gonna go get my coffee soon. Obviously, I'm gonna go get my coffee soon upstairs. And after I make this video, I'm gonna work on the yard for maybe 30. I'm tired. I need to work on it. I gotta get it done. I promise I'll get it done, so I gotta get it done. I don't need her money now. I got paid, so. I bought beer and smokes twice. That cost me like $48, and I bought Subway. I tried the barbecue brisket. Man, that was good with the chips, the onion chips. I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking good. That was amazing. That fucking Subway. Yeah, and I watched Rap Rad. And after Rap Rad, I just listened to some music, 50 Cent, Eminem. Yeah, for like 2 hours. Why I had a smoke, obviously. And I went to bed after that. I was tired. I went to bed around 1, I think. And I passed out and I just woke up now. And I'm happy because I'm off today. So I can sleep in. Tomorrow I work, but chances are they're going to make me work maybe a 4. I'm only going to work maybe a 4-hour shift tomorrow and they're going to let me go. I think how it works at Coco Fruity, they have me come in and help the guy out for maybe 3 hours, 4 hours. And once, like, the dishes are there's not as much dishes, they let me go, and the other guy closes that way they can save money, obviously, because they're cheap. Obviously, they're cheap, obviously. Some Sarah. Yeah, when I get my welfare check next week, next Monday or Tuesday, I get my welfare. The 31st is when I get my welfare check. I get that too. My step parents are letting me get that final check. You can get your last check, Ivan. So I'm gonna take like 500 of that, put it into my savings, and 200 I'll blow. Obviously, 200 I'll blow. Obviously, and my check, my check that I made yesterday, I got yesterday, it unfreezes. It froze the majority of it until next Friday. I'm like, why the fuck are you freezing my check? I think it's because it's my first check. First check, I think they freeze it. Because the bank has to process. I haven't cashed a check at the bank in years. So every time I got my check, I didn't cash it at the bank. I took a picture. I always took pictures or I cash it in the machine. I cash it in the machine, obviously. If I cash my next check, I swear to God, and they freeze it, I'm no longer going to go to the bank anymore. I'll just take a picture with my phone. If you're going to freeze it, I might as well just take a picture with my phone at home. I don't have to cash at the bank. Or I'll just cash at the bank. It takes 2 seconds. It's right next door. Right? It's easier to cash at the bank, obviously. It was nice when I got my fucking check and I got like almost $800. Like, holy shit, this is more than what I thought. I thought I'd get like maybe $690. I got like $100 more, because I worked like 50 plus hours for those 2 weeks. I got a fat check, obviously. All my checks will be about that amount of money, $750, $760 checks. That's why I'll have enough money to go on that date with a check, obviously. Put 200 in my savings, and I have like almost 600 to spend. So one day I can easily spend $80, $75 on the date. Obviously. I could go on another day a couple days later, but I gotta be careful. The bar is expensive. Like the bar, like one pitcher's like $22. One one what? One one bottle of beer is like $6. It's expensive at the bar. Ivan, you like going to bars? I like going to bars, but I prefer to get beer from the store just because it's cheaper. I remember back then I used to go to the bar all the time, and I realized, yeah, this is if it's draining my it's draining my money. It's expensive. Whereas getting beer at the store is cheaper. You get 6 beers for $11 at the fucking $10 to $80, $10 $70, $10.70. You get 6 beers, and one bottle of beer at the bar is $6. You see the difference? Yeah, it's much cheaper getting beer at the store. But the bar is a better experience. Some Sarah. Yeah, it's a better experience, obviously. Yeah, after this I'm gonna upload it. I'm only gonna make like a 1 hour video, and after this I'm gonna upload it, work on the yard outside for maybe 30 minutes. I'm tired. Working there for maybe 30 minutes because I'm tired, obviously. Working there for 30 minutes because I'm tired. Working there for 30 minutes because I'm tired. Then I'm gonna take my shower and I'm gonna go to the store and get beer and smokes. And I might get Subway one more. I'm running low on cash. I only have $200 to spend until next Friday. So I already blew like I don't know, $68, $67 in like one day yesterday. So I have enough to get beer and smokes today. Beer and smokes tomorrow, and I'm left with maybe $70. I can only get I'll have enough to get smokes for the next, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I just get a pack of smokes for myself. But I get paid. I get my welfare check too. Like next Tuesday, I get my welfare check. My $700. They're letting me get my last check, and after that, I have to let Welfare Quebec know. So I'll have like $700 in my savings right off the bat. Hence why I'm gonna save, yeah, like $3,500. 3.5. I can easily save like $400 a paycheck, but I don't want to do that. That's like almost my money gone. $300 is not enough for 2 weeks for me. I need at least like $450 plus. That's enough for 2 weeks. 300 is enough, but you have to budget like crazy. You know, I want to get my beer and smokes and that kind of stuff. I'm saying, yeah. I only need to save like 3,000. That's enough for me to get my book added. It's enough money, obviously. Yeah, it's amazing feeling when you work hard, you get like a check. Ivan, here's your check, and I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, even though it's nothing to you guys, it's a lot to me for someone who what? Like, holy shit, man! I'm making way more money working than I ever would have done collecting welfare checks. Yeah, welfare checks I don't work, but I gotta wait 30 days for each check, which is annoying. Whereas this job, I what? This job I work, which is annoying, obviously, but I get paid every 2 weeks. Like $750 plus checks, 760, $770 checks. A lot of money, obviously. Yeah. I just hope the bank doesn't keep freezing it. Otherwise, it's gonna be really annoying. I'm like, look, man, why do you keep freezing my fucking check? I think it's just my first check they froze. The other checks, I don't think they'll freeze. The other checks, I don't think they'll freeze. Yeah. It's weird because the Quebec check is so different from the Ontario check. You see the French nose and it's the Quebec. Because all the jobs I had were all like in Ottawa, Ontario, so I'm used to getting the seeing the English. Whereas because I work in Quebec, everything's in French. It's actually funny. You know. What I'm saying? Yeah. 'Cause, 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 yeah. 'Cause Yeah. Yeah, the actors were saying is they work, you know what I'm saying, and like 2 weeks go by, they get their first check. You know what I'm saying? And so you ever received this amount of money, you know, so you ever received $90,000, $130,000. The actor's like, holy shit. You know, it's so cool. They got their first. They're all gonna remember. Yeah, I remember what it was like to get my first big check, working for Ivan on Ivan Zane's movie. They're all gonna say that. I'm saying John Boyega, Alonzo, they're all gonna say that. Yeah, I remember getting my first check or working on Ivan Zane's movie. It's fucking cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have a high end company with a high end payment system too. So I think this place they pay everyone check. If you're paying people minute if you're paying someone 16, 17, 15 an hour, you can pay them check if you want. It's not that big of a deal, obviously. Because they're not making that much money. The moment you pay them millions, don't pay them check. They can lose their checks. Chances of them losing their check is not high, but there's a possibility it can happen. They can misplace it, and if they misplace it, you have to still pay them, and you have to take a loss and pay them. Hence why when you're handling millions of dollars and you're paying the actors their millions, or rich salary, obviously. You're paying the crewman 150K, the head chefs 400. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay what? Pay them on direct deposit. Put money into an advanced payment system whereby they pay the money gets wired into their accounts. Easier that way. You don't have to worry. The system does all the work for the accountants. Having pay them check won't work because the accountant's gonna have to hand out the checks to all the what? To all members of the crewmen and the actors. He has no time for that, man. It's too much people. You're gonna have to have assistants and assistants who work in the crewman to handle the checks. It'll be a mess, and people can easily get their checks lost. That's why if you're for a small little business like Coco Fruity, well, Coco Fruity's a big business, but compared to my company, it's small. For a small little business like Coco Fruity that makes maybe I don't know $1 million a year, that restaurant makes $1 million a year. You can pay them check if you want, but the moment you're handling hundreds of millions of dollars in salaries for the crewmen and the actors, you got to pay them a direct deposit, whereby the money gets wired into their accounts. So every time the actors sign their contracts, the crewmen sign their contracts, the accountant has to punch in all the information in the system and in the payment system. And the payment system does all the work for him. You know what I'm saying? Okay, 10% goes to the agent. You know what I'm saying? The actor gets paid this amount, 10% goes to the agent. The system does all the work for him, obviously. But when the actor gets paid, he gets an email confirmation you have received this amount of money. So he gets this email confirmation, and knowing you get email notifications on your phone, they'll know they got paid. Yeah, you got this email confirmation. They click on their email, obviously, and it says you have received this amount of money. And they click on it, and the system shows all the statements. The 10%, the tax deductions, the agent's 10% deduction going to the agent, how much taxes the actor's paid, how much money he got paid. One $30,000, one $40,000, $90,000, $200,000, one $90,000. I'm saying, like, holy shit, I got a fat check. I got a one like $35,000 check. Holy shit, this is way more than what I make in Hollywood, man. Hollywood, I make like 25K, 20K a paycheck, and I made like $40,000. Holy shit, what's that? Yeah. There. Especially the secretaries and the accountants and all of them, chances are those guys are not millionaires. They might maybe be worth maybe $250,000. And then once they work for me, they become millionaires. Whereas John Crown and Dave Filoni are millionaires, but the other guys are most likely not millionaires. And the secretaries get their first $25,000 check. They're like, holy shit, because they know they're never going to make that kind of money anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? And what the secretaries make their first money. Secretaries make their first money, obviously, Like holy, but chances are the secretaries and all of them are going to be blowing a good chunk of their checks for the first like 7, 8 months of the first year. But they got to buy a lot of stuff for the house, man. They got to buy their cars. Like I know why they get their cars right away. That they're blowing all their money. Yeah, they might buy it, finance it, buy it obviously, or they might lease it. They have to buy a lot of stuff for the house, couches, TVs, kitchen appliances, bathroom appliances, beds for their kids. Like the first like maybe 6 months of the first year though, the secretaries are gonna blow like all their money. Wow, yeah, I have like I can't save my money because like the first like 4 or 5 months of the year I have to buy a bunch of stuff. I have to buy my cars. My husband needs a car. I have to buy him a car. Chances are they're gonna listen to me and lease it. My husband needs a car. I have to buy him a car. I have to buy myself a car. I want to get myself a nice BMW, a nice Benz. I gotta lease those cars. Gotta buy couches, kitchen appliances, bathroom appliances. It's all expensive. Whereas John Farrell and Dave Filoni already have money, so for them, John Farrell and Dave Filoni get a fat bonus, so everything is easier. They're already rich, but they also got big bonuses. They can easily use that money to buy their house. I don't know. John buys his $10 million house, $8 million house. Dave buys like a $4 million house or a condo, whatever it is. $5 million house, whatever it is. The other three buy like a $4 million house, 3.5 million house. Secondaries buy like a 2.5 million house. And that's why you got to pay them a bonus. That way they can put a down payment on a house, obviously. After maybe 6 months, though, they would have bought everything in the house. Now they can start saving their money. They can start saving their money, obviously. Saving some of their money, obviously. The chances are the five are going to blow most of their money. Like the secretaries who make $1 million, the other guys who make $2 million, chances are they're going to blow a good chunk of their money. They'll save some of it. I don't know. They might maybe save maybe the secretaries might maybe save 50K a year from what they make. The other guys might save maybe 100K a year from what they make. Or they might do a thing where they blow their salary money. When they get their royalties, they save some of that money. They're gonna do that obviously. Once they get the royalties, they're gonna save some of the money. Secretaries get 5.5. They make 3.3 million after taxes. They might maybe put maybe 800K, $1 million in their savings, and the rest they get a car with it. They get a car with it, yeah. But they're gonna save their money. Most people save some of their money. Well, a lot people blow their money, but they always have savings, right? They put some money in their savings. A lot of people, obviously. I'll talk about the girlfriend topic next part, guys. I want to talk about Sky Source for this part. Yeah, John Favreau, John's rich. He's worth like $200 million. The guy's loaded, man. So he can easily buy his own. Yeah, I have money. Yeah, he can easily buy his own house with the money that he has in his bank. You know what I'm saying? I recommend John. Don't be stupid and get like a $50 million house, man. Otherwise, you're being stupid with your money, which he won't do. Chances are he'll get. He's worth $200 million. Chances are he'll get maybe a 10, a 15. His wife might want a $20 million house. You can afford it. Yeah, John, watch how you spend your money, man. You're rich, but you're not me and VJ. Don't be stupid and get like a $30 million house in Vancouver. You can afford it, but you're being stupid with your money, man. No, Ivan, I'm not gonna get that expensive house. I'll get maybe like a 15, $10 million house, Ivan. Okay, and he buys like a 10, $12 million house in Vancouver. Vancouver has beautiful homes to buy, obviously. Because I'm paying him a 34 million bonus. That's 20 million after taxes. So John can easily use the 20 million to buy his house right away. Buy his, I don't know, $12 million house in Vancouver. Sarah. Then the rest of it, he uses it to, he might blow his bonus, perhaps, John. He might blow it. And the 100 million he saves a good chunk. Like, I don't know how, like a good chunk of that money he saves. His royalties, he saves a good chunk of it. 100 million is like 63 million after taxes. That he'll probably save a good chunk of it. Maybe 45 million of that he saves, and the rest he blows, obviously. 50 million of that he saves, he blows $10 million, $8 million, $7 million, something like that. On other stuff, right, that he wants to get. He might buy a jet. John can afford his own jet. He's worth $200 million. You're worth $200 million. You can afford your own jet, but a cheaper jet, maybe like a $17 million jet, you can afford. But chances are he will get a jet with that money. Yeah, I'm gonna get myself a jet. Oh, really? Yeah. Like a $17 million jet, I'm gonna buy. $18 million jet. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna use my royalties to get my jet Ivan to fly my family private. I'm like, yeah. You're more than welcome to park. To save you money, you can park your jet on my property if you want. But you have to hire your own pilots. You have to maintain your jet. I'm not paying it for you, but the fee I'm paying every month for to park the jet on my property, you can park the jet on my property for free. I won't charge you anything. But like you have to maintain your own jet. I'm not maintaining it for you. You have to hire your own pilots if you want to go on a vacation with your family. I'm not doing that for you. So I'm saying. Whereas the secretaries and them can't afford a jet. They can't afford a jet. But they're gonna get like their high end cars, like Lamborghinis, Ferraris. They can now afford it because I'm giving them royalties. Well, the other guys who make $2 million can afford a Ferrari and Lamborghini, but it's a big cut on their budget. Because if you make $2 million a year, that's $1.2 million after taxes. See what I'm saying? A high end Lamborghini or Ferrari is like 300K, 200K. It's a big cut on your budget. They can afford it. Secondaries can't afford that, man. That's a big con. That's like half their money gone. They can't afford. They can afford it, but it's a really big con on their budget. The secondaries. You make $1 million a year, you can afford a Ferrari and Lamborghini, but like it's a big cut on your budget. You gotta be careful, right? $1 million is like $30,000 after taxes. So if you get like a $250,000 Lamborghini, you do the math. That's like almost half your what? Your earnings gone, man. You gotta be careful. And that's why the secondaries will most likely get the BMWs, the SUVs, the Benzes. They're gonna get those cars first year. The other two are probably gonna get more high end cars, maybe Porsches, maybe like an $80,000, $70,000 Porsche they might get. And the secondaries might wait until they get the royalties, and then when they get the royalties, that's when because they're gonna want to get the high end cars like the Ferrari, Lamborghini. Yeah, when I get my royalties, I'm gonna get the Lamborghini and the Ferrari. They might tell me that. Yeah, I'm thinking of getting a Ferrari, Lamborghini when I get my royalties. The other guys might do that too, or they might get the Lambo and the Ferrari maybe second year, maybe third year. Second year they might do it. Yeah, I paid all I got everything I needed for my home. My family, second year, they don't have to pay for all that stuff anymore. They can use that money to get their more high end cars if they want. With the money that they're making, we'll see what happens. But chances are the secondaries and them are gonna wait until they get their royalties. Then once they get their royalties, they buy their high end car. But look, man, if you want to get your Ferrari and Lamborghini, if you want to drive the kind of cars me, VJ, and like John Favreau only are driving, because they can afford that, obviously. Release your cars. That way, once the 4 years are up and once the 5 years are up, your lease agreement's up, you could what? Return the cars and you can now get your Lamborghini and your Ferrari. Your Corvette. Yeah. You don't get your high-end cars. I personally like Ferraris better than Lamborghinis, to be honest. Don't hate me, Neo2s. I know Neo2s thinks the Lambo model's nice, so I disagree. I think Ferraris look nicer than Lamborghinis. Lamborghinis, the body looks a bit weird. It's a bit like it looks a bit fat. It looks like a bloated fat car. It's a nice car, obviously, but it looks a bit bloated and fat when you look at it. Whereas a Ferrari has the better. I find it looks nicer. It has better features than the Lamborghini. But it's debatable what's better, Lambo or Ferrari. Some people say Ferrari, some people say Lambos are better. But I think Ferraris are better. They're better cars. Hence why that will be my first car. I'm gonna get Ferrari and I'm gonna get a Porsche too. I like Porsche. Porsches are nice. They're not as nice as Ferraris, but they're nice cars. I get like a high end like $120,000 Porsche, $150,000 Porsche, $180,000 Porsche, and I'll get a Jeep, like a $50,000 winter Jeep, $40,000 winter Jeep. Lease all the cars. Only way I'll buy it is if I have no choice. Like, Ivan, sorry, we don't do leases here. Okay, fine, I'll just buy it. But I know if I buy it, after like 6-7 years, I'm going to get tired of the car, and that's why you're wasting money. But most dealerships have lease agreements. They all have lease agreements. The Ferrari has lease agreement. Yeah, Ivan, we can lease it to you. Yeah, leases you. Yeah, Ivan, it's gonna cost you like, I don't know, it's gonna cost you like 18,000 a month to rent this Ferrari, Ivan. 20,000 a month. Yeah, it's fine, guys. I can easily afford it. I'm a fucking billionaire. And VJ most likely gets a Benz or something like that. Because women are not into Ferraris, Lamborghinis. VJ gets like her Mercedes Benz. But she gets a high end one, like a one like $100,000 one she gets. A high end like convertible Benz. She gets a BMW. Ivan, I want a BMW and a Benz. I'm like, of course you do. And she goes to the Mercedes Benz dealership. She gets like a high end Mercedes Benz. She gets her BMW and she gets like an SUV or something like that, a Lexus or something like that. Yeah, all right, for the winter, I want to drive a nice SUV. I'm like, VJ, you don't want to get the high end cars? No, I'm not really a fan of those cars. Yeah, women are not a fan of Lamborghinis and Ferraris. Those are male cars. Women like Benzes and BMWs. That's what they like driving. And Porsches, too. She might get a Porsche, Victoria Justice. Porsches are pretty common for women to drive. But women like Benzes and BMWs, Mazdas, Lexuses, SUVs, you know what I'm saying? Genesis, they like those cars, woman. So I'm saying, yeah, me and VJ live that life. My team's gonna be living that life. Yeah, man. You're gonna see, I don't know, the team's lavish life in the documentary. I hired John Favreau, Dave Filoni. You see them driving their nice fucking cars. John has like the same cars as me. He can afford all the cars I drive. John can afford all those cars. These guys loaded. You know what I'm saying? And then after I finish J's, I'm gonna get that Bugatti, man. Bugatti is the best car in the world. It's much better than the Lambo and a Ferrari, man. Bugatti is a high end car. It is so rare. Most people in the world can't afford that. You need to be someone who's really rich to afford a Bugatti. But Bugattis are rare cars. You have to buy them at auctions or build them because they're rare cars. The Bugatti I will get after his name is. Once I got my royalties for the movie and my merch, I will get that Bugatti. I'll build one or I'll buy one at the auction. I'll build a high end like $18 million one, like a high end Bugatti, something crazy, and I'll drive it for maybe 15 years. And I'll give it to like a college student or something like that who need. Hey man, you want a car? You know what I'm saying? How much you selling it for? I'll give it to you. I'll give you the car for. I'll give you this car for like $200. Really, Ivan? Yeah, I don't need your money. I'll give it for $200. $200, Ivan? Yeah. You want the car and you give it to a student. It's an old one, but after you drive 15 years, that's you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I'm generous, obviously. Yeah, me and VJ and 17 were living that life, man. Yeah, man. Shut my camera here.